And just like that, we're back. This is the Week 8 video review for the ODAC and USA South conferences. During last week's video review, we ended with a sideline play near the goal line. This week, let's look at the proper mechanics in a similar situation. Here we have a pass towards the near sideline, and the receiver is very close to the sideline as he's en route to a touchdown. At the goal line, we see our field judge in good position. I would say the field judge could be standing on the goal line by the time our receiver gets to the goal line. But for the purposes of this exercise, let's look at what he does immediately after seeing number 27 cross the goal line. Our field judge points back at our short wing before signaling a touchdown. This is important as the field judge, prior to the ball crossing the goal line, is responsible for blocks in front of the play. Our short wing is watching the sideline and the feet of the runner as they run towards the goal line. We want to make sure we communicate with our sideline partner so that we have all the information we need to get this play correct. Take your time on these plays and get all the information before we ring up a touchdown. Let's look at an offensive formation with too many players. There are 2 times we can shut a play down for an illegal substitution on the offense. The first situation is if we have 12 players in the huddle and the 12th player does not leave the huddle within 3 seconds of the substitute entering the huddle. The second scenario is when we recognize we have 12 players in an offensive formation. While this is the primary responsibility of the referee and umpire, who should be counting the offensive players before each snap, anyone who recognizes this situation should shut this play down. Let's not give the offense an unfair advantage by letting them snap the ball. On this play, key the running back. The tackle box is highlighted here based on the current formation of the offensive line. Backs with an initial position inside the tackle box that are stationary at the snap are allowed to block below the waist within the 10-2 frame of the defender. However, this block must occur within the tackle box before the ball leaves the tackle box and occur no more than 1 yard beyond the original line of scrimmage. On this play, our running back leaves the tackle box in order to block the defender here below the waist, clearly outside the tackle box. Let's make sure we stick with our keys long enough to pick up this illegal contact on the defender. At the snap, this is a short wing key. If we stay with our key, we're not going to miss this block below the waist. On this play, we have a forward progress spot before the player goes out of bounds. When we have a forward progress spot inbounds, but the player ends up out of bounds, we want to make sure that we allow the clock to keep running. Here on the sideline, you're going to see our short wing kill the clock at the end of this play. Running this back in slow motion, let's break down what happens on this play. Quarterback throws the ball, the receiver catches it near the sideline. Our initial contact happens with our runner's foot beyond the 35-yard line. But as we continue this play, we notice that the runner goes out of bounds at about the 36-yard line, behind the forward progress spot that's inbounds. Since this forward progress spot occurs inbounds, we would consider this play to end inbounds, and we wouldn't want to kill the clock unless we have a first down. Since we are not awarding the offense a first down on this play, let's make sure we just use our dead ball signal. Keep the clock running. On this play, we will talk about soft spots. A soft spot is a spot by a non-covering official on a play. On this play, since the ball carrier is on the near side of the field and outside the hash marks, the short wing on the close sideline has the primary responsibility of getting this spot. The runner appears to be down at the 41-yard line, and as we see our near side short wing official get into position, we see that they get a good spot. However, our short wing on the opposite side of the field is spotting the ball 2 yards in advance of where his partner is spotting it. We want to ensure that our short wings line up on the same yard line after each play. Use the 020 radios or give some kind of visual cue to your partner to make sure that you guys have the same spot after each play. When we both end up on the same yard line, we look confident in our judgment, communicating to both teams that we are focused and on top of the play. On this next play, let's talk about a Team B player who makes a fair catch signal but doesn't catch the ball. On this play, we have a Team B player in the center of the field who signals for a fair catch by repeatedly waving one hand over his head. The teammate of this Team B player then proceeds to catch the ball in the end zone. Whenever a Team B player makes a fair catch signal prior to their recovery of the kick, the ball is going to become dead upon the recovery. Looking again at this particular situation, we notice a couple of things. First off, the people that are going to be able to make this call are the short wings and the referee. Since the ball is on the near side of the field, our short wing on the far sideline is probably going to be the candidate who's most likely going to catch this call. As we proceed and we see that the ball is caught, we notice that the ball is caught in the end zone. When this ball is caught after a fair catch is signaled by any Team B player, we must whistle this play dead. If this ball is caught in the end zone, it's going to be considered a touchback, and this ball is going to be placed at the 25-yard line. Now, after the ball has been caught, and this player realizes that the ball has not been blown dead, everyone continues to play as if we hadn't seen the fair catch signal. Under normal circumstances, any player on Team B that gives a fair catch signal is not allowed to further participate in the play by blocking or otherwise impeding an opponent in their opportunity to get to the ball. However, since we did not blow the whistle dead on the fair catch signal, we must also apply some context to this situation. If this player thought that the play should have been blown dead and then further participates after we do not kill the play, we shouldn't penalize this player, even though the rules suggest that we should. Let's make sure we're monitoring all the players in our areas of responsibility to ensure that we don't miss these easy enforcements that make us look good. Let's also talk about the player who receives the kick on this play. Even though this player does not give a fair catch signal, they are not allowed to advance the ball more than 2 steps after receiving the kick because their teammate gave a fair catch signal. On this play, we notice that this player takes well more than 2 steps into the field of play, proceeds to run as if no fair catch was given. By rule, if we acknowledge the fair catch, this is a delay of game foul by the returner. This is a 5-yard foul enforced from the succeeding spot, 25-yard line in this scenario. Let's review covering plays that end up out of bounds, particularly on kickoffs. Here's a great example of why we follow our players out of bounds. On plays where we have members of opposite teams going out of bounds at the same time, or we have players going out of bounds on the side of the opponents, we always want to make sure we have eyes on that action. We can still cover these plays and get to our primary responsibilities with our eyes towards the sideline. On free kick plays, our deep wings start 65 yards away from the goal line. They have a lot of ground to cover to give you help on this play. As we cover our spot and mark the end of the run, we should be facing the action on the sideline. On this play, because we're looking at the field, we missed a late hit out of bounds. Let's remember that even though we are hired to ensure that the game is played fairly, our number one priority should always be player safety. On this play, we miss unnecessary roughness by the kicking team because we're more concerned about getting a spot on the field. Let's keep all the players safe and ensure that we don't keep our eyes just on the field, but also what's going on around us. That's a wrap for the Week 8 video review. Good luck on Saturday, everyone.